from Northland that have small kids, they got a little place to go.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
I think it's
Bring
one
their
of the
dog
years-
there. Okay, let's get going. Let's bring improvement service order. Let it be recorded. Nicholson, Worry, Nenning, and Vanderleest are present. 1, approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of February 28th, 2018. Motion by
Move to approve.
Nenning, second by Worry. Under discussion, here none, all in favor? Nays, motion
Aye.
carried. Approval of the agenda. Motion by
Second.
Worry,
Second.
second by
Second.
Nenning. Under discussion, here none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 3, consideration of possible action on review and approval of 2017 annual, consideration with possible action on a request by Alderman Joe Moore to create a manual of specs and standards to be given to developers looking to invest in Green Bay. Director Kinnear.
Recommend that we refer this to staff to work between DPW and planning to create that, and then we can report this out at a future meeting.
Perfect.
Plan Commission did the same thing Monday night, they referred it to staff. So. I'll make
Motion
a
by Nenning to refer to staff, second
Yeah.
by Worry. Under discussion, here none. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 4, consideration possible action on review and approval of 2017 annual Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources Stormwater Report. Director Kinnear.
We go through this every year, and this is our annual MS4 stormwater report. I'll give you the high-level discussion on it. We had a brand-new stormwater facility constructed in 2017. Our Mossy Oak facility is immediately west of Henry S. Baird Elementary School. So the construction that we had going on up there in Schmidt Park this year, that's what that was all about. So we now have a large regional facility up there servicing that area. It's a unique project for us because it's one of the first projects that allowed what the DNR calls an inline pond. It's inline of a drainage facility or a creek. Typically, they don't allow those. We were able to get the point of navigability changed and put an inline pond so it can capture the discharge from one of our large storm sewers. Really picked up a lot of acreage and did a lot of good for doing stormwater management up there. So being that it was a unique project, it was also extremely beneficial to us. Project was probably about 7 years in the planning by the time we actually got it done. So definitely a lot of staff time and consultants engaged on that. There were over 300 construction and utility projects that occurred throughout the course of 2017. 275 of those required erosion control permits. With the reorganization of the utility section for 17 and the hiring of an erosion control specialist, we actually took on both private and public right-of-way inspections. Largely as a result of those activities, the notice of violation that we are under with the Department of Natural Resources was lifted. So staff has done a real good job of taking that challenge on and working with the DNR to continue to enforce our erosion control ordinances and work with the building community to try to get them educated and up to speed to make sure we don't have those kind of enforcement issues anymore. With our stormwater management report, we have a total of 344 outfall locations from our storm sewer across the city. Stormwater technician completed the 8th year of our ongoing outfall screening and inspections. We do minor or major outfalls. Major outfalls, anything defined as anything 24 inch in diameter or better. Of that, we had 4 significant detections of parameters of concern at 4 detections at all of our, over the course of all of our outfalls. One was found in front of East High on Walnut Street, and that was a follow-up to a positive detection of chlorine last summer. Again, we got chlorine in 2017. And what we think is happening is there's some interconnect between a overflow valve at the Joannes Water Park and the storm sewer. There was a point in time when you were allowed to do that, but now because they consider pools to be highly chlorinated, you can't have them interconnected with your storm anymore. They have to go to sanitary. So we are investigating that to see if there is a disconnect that we're going to have to make in the future. The other 3 were located in residential neighborhoods where at the time, shortly before we did the sampling, we were able to go back and ascertain folks were washing vehicles, especially larger RVs, and the surfactants that are in the soap, we were actually able to detect with some of our testing equipment, so. Went back, had a conversation with the folks who actually caused the exceedances. No, we don't use that as a means to issue citations, we'd rather go out and educate and get compliance. So Stormwater Tech went out and met with folks, identified what they had done and what impact it had on our storm sewers, what the impact on the environment was, and actually all three of the folks that we met with were extremely grateful for the information. Something as easy as washing the vehicle on the grass, your front lawn, instead of in your driveway can make all the difference in the world, because it'll infiltrate into your lawn as opposed to run down the driveway into a storm sewer. After we completed the infield screening, we got the GIS mapping updated to reflect that. In April of 17, the Stormwater Tech also represented the city. We typically go over with the MacArthur Neighborhood Association and Sanimax on a cleanup of the Beaver Dam Creek watershed, so Pam participated in that again this year. We completed our biannual inspections of all stormwater quality ponds to look for deficiencies like plugged outfalls, animal burrows, anything that would decrease the life expectancy of the pond. So far, the ponds have not yet reached an age where we have appreciable sediment accumulation in the bottom, so we don't have to do any dredging yet, but we do pick up garbage and debris from around the facility that's caught up in the vegetation. As you're aware, we do employ a trapper to reduce muskrat population, because muskrats burrow and cause problems with our ponds. We got 21 ponds through, so far through the 2017-2018 winter season. 134 muskrats trapped this year. So trapper's been busy. We developed a few new forms for doing, tracking our inspections. That's been through consultation with the Department of Natural Resources to make sure that we're properly documenting all of the inspections and cleaning that we're doing. We completed a greenway outfall maintenance inspection for the community rating system on December 7th of 2017. That's going through all the greenways that aren't necessarily rivers, okay, so around the city. And by doing maintenance inspections on that, that actually assists with insurance ratings for the city. So, and flood, it also assists with flood rating, which translates into lower premiums for flood insurance for folks living around the greenways. Over the summer, we temporarily take 2 folks out of the street section. We assign them over to the utility section, and they spend most of the summer with a vac truck vacuuming out the stormwater inlets to take accumulated debris and sediment out of the inlets. We were able to clean 4,800 stormwater inlets last summer with just 2 people. And then we had another successful year of street sweeping and fall leaf collection. We had 17 rotations of street sweeping and 5 full leaf collection rotations. There is some legislation that I believe has gone through its final review and is being implemented by DNR relative to the MS4 permit. We are now getting credit for the leaf collection program to help us with the MS4 permit. So the leaves breaking down into small particulate and getting into the stormwater by us doing the leaf collection program. Before it was the right thing to do, and environmentally you want to do it, but DNR didn't recognize that under our stormwater permit. Now they do. It's not as big a credit as we had hoped, but the program continues to develop, and we hope that over time it will more accurately reflect the level of effort that goes in and the actual reduction in suspended solids as a result, and phosphorus resulting from those leaf collection activities. So overall, we've been very happy with the work that has been done on the storm sewer side of things, and look forward to getting a positive report back from DNR when we submit the report.
Questions, concerns? If not, entertain a
One quick
motion.
question for Steve.
Sure.
On the west side waste site now, was that approved by the DNR that they can, in other words, I think, did the county?
Nothing has been done with the west side site yet.
Nothing yet, huh?
No.
So is the city actually got hands on it, or does the county still own it?
The county owns the property we're currently on. I still need to get a permit from the DNR to move on to the property that the city owns. It's simply a matter of staffing. I simply don't have staff to work on the project.
So we're gonna keep the west side waste site then going for this year then?
Oh, we will always have a waste site. The big difference is whether or not I have to rent land from the county or can I move on to the property that the city owns.
Okay.
We're confident that DNR is ultimately going to approve us going onto the property that the city owns and we'll be able to get off the county's property.
Okay.
Ultimately, we're confident that's going to happen. It's simply a matter of having the staff available to do the research, provide the documentation that the DNR needs, and then make the formal request.
So it's down the road a little ways.
I would like to see that happen before summer,
Okay.
by July or so.
It's a nice, in other words, people use this site heavily there on the west
Oh,
side.
God, yes. Yeah, it's definitely not something we're interested in giving up. It's just we need to move next door.
Okay.
Entertain a motion.
You need a motion to approve this?
Yes,
or-
sir.
And submit it, or?
Yeah, approve and submit.
Okay, make a motion to approve this and submit it.
Motion to approve by Nenning, second by
Second.
Worry. Under discussion? Hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes, motion carried. 5, consideration of possible action and review and approval of McMahon contract amendment for 2018 storm water facility vegetation maintenance in the amount of $20,700. Director Kinnear?
Each year, the city issues contracts for vegetation maintenance at our stormwater facilities, our ponds. McMahon Engineers Architects has performed these services in the past years for the Baird Creek Preserve North Pond, the Baird Creek Preserve Northwest Pond, Larshide Pond, Mill Street Pond, Baston Street Wetland Facility, and the Excalibur Pond. DPW recommends approving a contract amendment to allow McMahon to continue that for 2018.
Questions or concerns? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve by Vanderleest, second by Worry. Under discussion? Hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 6, consideration of possible action on review and approval of NES Ecological Services, a division of Robert E. Lee and Associates, contract amendment for 2018 stormwater facility maintenance in the amount of $49,500. Director Kinnear?
Similar to the previous item, NES performs the same services at the Royal Woods Pond, Barina Creek Stormwater Facility, Burger Street Pond, the Huron Sitka Pond, Crystal McAuliffe Park Pond, and Yuza Shorewood Heights Pond. So we would recommend awarding that contract amendment.
Move to approve.
Motion by Nenning to approve, second by
Second.
Worry. Under discussion? Hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 7, consideration of possible action on a report of the purchasing manager to request approval to purchase a paint stripping machine from Diamond Vogel Paints, $11,118. Director Kinnear?
This is a walk-behind and ride-behind two-gun airless pavement marking machine that we use. As opposed to the long center lines, this machine is used more for crosswalks, stop bars, that kind of thing. Old machine is past its useful life, so we did have this in our budget for this year. The funds were budgeted. We received 4 quotes on this. This is straightforward, low responsive bidder was Diamond Vogel at $11,117.67, so recommendation is to award.
Entertain a motion, if
Motion
not.
approved.
Motion approved by Vanderleest, second by
Second.
Nenning. Under discussion? Hear none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. 8, consideration, possible action on review and award of the contract pavement 1-18, including water main. Director Kinnear.
No, this is brand new, eh?
Yep, that's right.
Oh. Hot off the press, we just, oh, that's okay. We just opened the bids yesterday. So, what we have is a 2-part contract, with Part A and Part B for pavement 1-18, including water main. This is a little bit different than some of our contracts, in that we've done a combined contract for the utilities and the pavement to try to expedite the project. As you're aware, we've got a expansion in the I-43 Industrial Park where we've got a business relocating over there, or building a new facility on the corner of Erie and Mason Street. That's currently not sewer serviced, so we need to extend the interceptor sewers down. This will not only service that property, but it opens up, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of about 80 to 100 acres of additional property for future development and expansion of the I-43 Industrial Park. So very much a sought-after project, very high on the city's list. This is part of the extension of the South Branch Baird Creek Interceptor project that has been on our drawing board since 2005. So we're real happy about it. This year, DPW published a revision. It's the first time that our master specifications have been updated since 1987. So this is the first contract bid out under our new specs. Very pleased with the numbers that we got. Had some positive feedback from the contractors relative to some of the changes we made in the spec. So we do recommend award of the contract, Part A to Dorner Incorporated in the amount of $1,176,320.78, and Part B of the contract to Advanced Construction Incorporated in the amount of $1,280,355.71.
Questions, concerns? If not,
Motion to approve is.
motion to approve by Waring, second by Nenning. Under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Was that the proper motion
Yes.
you're looking for, Steve?
Yep.
Okay. Moving forward, 9.
Oh, I'm sorry, just, even though, thank you for approving, but there are a couple other things I did want to let you know about this.
Okay.
We will be holding an assessment hearing for this project and 2 others coming up at a future meeting. One of the things that's a little bit different about this project as opposed to the other ones that we're doing, given the location of this project is within TIF number 12. So, the majority of this project is being TIF funded, okay?
Good.
I know one of the things we always talk about is using TIF for things other than infrastructure. $2.5 million is going directly into infrastructure out of TIF number 12, okay? There are some properties that are subject to assessment out here. What we're going to do to try to make this a little bit better deal for everybody, the projects that are subject to being assessed for these improvements, every last one of them is a vacant farm field. And we know what happens when we try to levy these heavy assessments on farmland. So, as part of the project, right up front, we are making a recommendation, and you will hear this at the assessment hearing for this project, that the assessments on these farm fields be deferred for a period of 5 years or until the property is sold or developed, whichever comes first. That way, once the sewer service is there, now the property becomes more attractive for development. If they're able to develop it, they pay the assessments when they sell it or develop it. Or if they don't develop it within 5 years, the assessment, they've got 5 years to save up for the assessments. After 5 years, they can always come and petition INS and ask for another extension. I can't guarantee that. They'll have to come and talk to the committee at that time, but at least we're trying to be reasonable about it, and the TIF will cover the assessments in the meantime. So just so you know, this is very much a TIF-funded project.
Point well taken. Moving forward, 9, consideration and possible action on an agreement for purchase and sale of real estate at 1110 North Webster Avenue for the North Webster Avenue reconstruction project and authorized payments. Director Grenier.
This is the agreement and purchase of real estate for the second of the projects on the North Webster Avenue contract. Once the agreement is approved by the council, we can set a closing date for the transfer of the property. And again, as we talked to you about last meeting, our hope is to assemble a handful of these projects before we do a demo so that we can recognize an economy of scale.
Hey, any questions? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Vanderlee, second by
Second.
Nenning. Under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Nays, motion carried. 10, consideration of possible action applications for concrete sidewalk builders licensed by the following. A, Northern Concrete Construction. B, in the Countryside Concrete LLC. C, Charlie T&L Construction. D, Verhan Construction LLC. E, Edward Shoe Construction. Director Grenier.
All applicants have held sidewalk builder's license in the past, so we do recommend approval.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Nenning, second by Leary. Under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Nays, motion carried. 11, consideration of possible action on applications for tree brush trimmer license by the following. Conscientiously, woo-hoo, Fresh Tree Service, and Holtger Brothers. Director Grenier.
Both have held in the past, recommend approval.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Worry, second by
Second.
Nenning, under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Director's report, Director Kinnear.
Director has no report for you.
Entertain a motion to receive and place on file then? Do you have one or not, Steve?
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, I don't have anything. for you
Entertain a
this
motion to
time.
receive and place on file. Motion
Second.
by Worry,
We
second
did-
by Nenning.
We did have an amended agenda.
Oh, yeah, there's one new item.
Yep.
Okay, we'll help, we'll have it after Director's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. What's the,
Discussion with possible action for a pre-approval to award a contract to a low bidder for asbestos abatement in conjunction with the sixth floor remodeling project. At our last meeting, we awarded a contract for the sixth floor project here at City Hall. There are some asbestos containing materials up there. There is money within the funding for that project to do the asbestos abatement, but we now have to go out and solicit the services of an asbestos abatement contractor. Because that's an expenditure that's gonna be more than $10,000, we do require council approval on that. What we're just asking is for you to have us, give us the prior approval to hire that contractor to keep the project moving forward with the knowledge that there is money in the budget for the project to accommodate that.
Okay, I'll
Motion to
move
approve.
to authorize our director to contract the necessary asbestos abatement services for sixth floor.
Second?
Yep,
motion to approve by Nenning, second by Worry, under discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion carried. Motion to adjourn
Okay.
by Vanderleest, second by Nenning, under discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, we're adjourned.
You take care of yourself.
Keep up the good work. I want to eat pastrami.
Hey, there you go. Bring us a little sample next time.
Yeah.
Kidding me, I'm gonna overdose on it. Nothing well.